Okay, good morning, class. This is our lesson for today. Our outcome is upon completion of the course, the student should be able to firstly interpret the importance of maintaining stability during loading and unloading in transit various conditions. Two is to calculate the effect on trim and stability of a ship in the event of damage. Two, and consequent flooding of a compartment and countermeasures to be taken. And number three, to demonstrate a knowledge and understanding of IMO recommendations concerning ship stability. Okay, so our topic is materials and strengths of a ship's. So class, the role of the classification society in the assurance that any practical vessel is structurally fit to undertake a proposed voyage. So each ship is being certified by the classification society. No? Okay, so a system of classification has been formulated over a period of some 200 years. Why? Because the cargo shipper and the underwriter requested to ensure a maritime risk require some assurance that any particular vessel is structurally fit to undertake the proposed voyage. Another is to enable the shipper and underwriter to distinguish the good risk from the bad. Okay, so these are the reason why the classification is being created. No? Another reason is to the reliable organization have been created for the initial and continuing inspection of ships so that classification may be assessed and maintained. Yeah. So the organization have been created, you know, to continuously and assess if the ship or the vessel is still maintained and still seaworthy. Okay, so we are talking about the safety of a certain vessel by creation of this organization. Another one is this classification and societies publish rules and regulation which are principally concerned with the strength of the ship, the provision of adequate equipment, and the reliability of the machinery. Also, this strength of the ship, provision and adequate equipment, and the reliability of machinery. That's why also the classification was being published, or created to monitor all this equipment and classification of a ship. Okay, so there are principal maritime nations of the following classification societies. First, we have the Great Britain Lloyd's of Register of Shipping. So this is UK, no? And another is France, Bureau of Veritas. Okay, so these are the society that very famous, no, with regards the checking or classifying a vessels, no. Another is the German Lloyd or Germanischer Lloyd. This very famous also, this German Lloyd or GL, what we call GL. No? We can see this GL on a middle of the vessel. This mark, you can see the pencil mark. It was marked by GL. You can see that on certain vessel. Okay, Norway, Italy, United States also have the ABS, no, or we call it American Bureau of Shipping, and as well as the Russian Register Shipping. And for our Asian, we have also here in Asia this Nippon Kaiji Ryokai, or in short NPK. No? Okay, in recent years, the principal classification societies have developed software packages for use by shipyards, which incorporate dynamic-based criteria for the scanning, structural arrangement, and details of ship's structure. So, in this uh, society, classification society, already been developed a software in order to carried out their criteria, no? Even in dynamic criteria, structural arrangement, and details of ship structure. So it's very accurate that they calculated. No. This was a response to a perception that the traditional semi-empirical published classification rules based on experience could be inadequate for new and larger vessel trains. No? So in any size of the vessel, they can assess if the vessel been approved by the classification society. So that's the time he can sail. No? He is certified as seaworthy. Okay. The computer programs made available to ships incorporate a realistic representation of the dynamic loads likely to be experienced by the ship and are used to determine the scattering and investigate the structural responses of critical areas of the ship structure. Okay, so another is they include a program for fatigue design assessment, which is commonly used to assess the structural design detail of larger container ships, tankers, and bulk carriers. Okay, so this FDA, they design already a program in measuring all this fatigue being encountered by such vessels, containers, tankers, and ship bulkers. Evaluation of the structure designed by means of these programs can result in the ship being assigned further relevant notations. Okay, requirements of the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, or SOLAS, is designing, construction, and maintaining its compliance. Okay, class. What is SOLAS Convention? The word SOLAS is an abbreviation of Safety of Life at Sea. International Maritime Treaty, also known as SOLAS Convention or International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, which established the life safety measures in the construction equipment and operation of merchant ships. Okay, so SOLAS Chapter 2-1. This chapter is for construction, subdivision, and stability machinery and electrical installation. This chapter of SOLAS deals with the watertight integrity of the ship, including the passengers' vessels, and comprises of 7 parts, explaining the requirement for structural machinery, electrical stability, and other criteria for a ship. Okay, so on part A, it contains a 3 regulation which explain the application of this chapter on ship as per their keel laying. The regulation explain definition of different terminology which is used in the chapter. Okay, ito namang part A1 is comprises of regulation explaining the requirement for the structure of a ship, including the protective, the coating, the towing arrangement, the equipment fittings, construction, and drawings, etc. So, this is the part A1. It also includes the regulation on how to provide access to different parts of the oil tanker and bulk carrier. And the structure consists manual which contains the details of the structure, including plans for means of access, methods to construct a ship which complies with the regulation for protection against noise is also included. Okay, so even the noise protection is included in assessing or classifying the vessel. On Part B, this regulation explains the stability and watertight integrity requirements. So in Part A, most of them are the structural, no? And here on Part B is the stability and the watertight integrity. Under Part B, we have the first regulation, the regulation 5 to 8 defines the necessary condition for maintaining the intact stability of the cargo ship and the passenger ship. It also includes a requirement on the information which needs to be supplied to the master on the stability of the vessel, explaining how to calculate the stability factors in different conditions. So in this part B, it's clearly more on stability. On part B2 comprises of four regulations 9 to 17, which takes care of the watertight integrity. Okay, the first part is the stability, and now this part B2 comprises of four regulations, regulation 9 to 17, which take care of watertight integrity of the ship, both passenger and cargo ship, by enlisting the constructional and testing requirement of watertight and other important bulkheads, and the provision of double bottom on ship other than tanker ships. On B3, Part B2 explains the requirement for the subdivision, load line assignment for passenger ship. Okay, so B3 is explaining the requirement of subdivision of the load line. These are the tropical, summer, freshwater, so and so. On Part B4 of this chapter comprises of 7 regulations from Regulation 19 to 25 for the requirement of stability management, explaining the inspection, prevention, damage control drills, and information for cargo and passenger ship. On Part C, it focuses on different machinery installation in the engine room, including the requirement of emergency installation in the passenger ship for Regulation 26 to 39. On Part D of this chapter, from Regulation 40 to 45, focuses on the electrical installation requirement for cargo and passenger ships, including the emergency source and arrangement along with the electrical safety and hazards. Okay, so we will continue this on our next topic.